Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in. G'day everybody and welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are excited to have on our podcast today a coaching session with the lovely Daisy, and I'm excited to go through with Daisy some things. She's really experiencing a challenging, hard time at the moment in her life. We'll get into that a little bit and we'll hear her story. My intention today is to, one, inspire, motivate, connect dots in regards to the more metaphysical side of things, not so much to give any sort of diagnosis or physical clinical advice. That is definitely Philippa's realm, but thank you so much everyone for joining us. Thank you Daisy for coming on, and I reckon we get stuck into it. So welcome to the show, Daisy.
Thank you very much.
So we had a brief chat off air just then, but would you like to just, in as much detail as you possibly want to or care to, tell us who you are and maybe like a little bit more about like what you do, how old you are, give us all the details that we need to know and that I need to know for our call today.
My name's Daisy. I'm 45 years old. I'm a stay-at-home mum with a little 3-year-old. I currently suffer from MS, and so that's why I'm not working. I just can't do that because I don't have the mobility issues. And so I'm just here today because I experienced a death in my family. My dad passed away almost 4 months ago, and I'm just struggling with the whole emotional stress side of things, and I just need to be able to calm down because my body has just gone totally out of whack.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your dad, Daisy. That hasn't happened to me. So like literally I can't possibly imagine what it would be like to have your dad pass away. I know when my granddad passed away, there was it was a challenging time for my extended family. So my condolences. I can understand logically how stressful that would be, but I heard you say struggling with stress. What do you mean by struggling? What's that look like to you?
I guess since I got the call to say that my dad had passed, I have just basically felt my whole body just like cave in on itself. It's like I have like these mobility issues, and like before my dad's passing, they were getting like really good and I was able to like mobilize really good. But then after I got the call and within like a day or two, my mobility just totally stopped working, and I had to use my walking stick a lot more and my walker a lot more dependently because I just couldn't get around as easily as I could before. I'm like, I couldn't believe how quickly it had happened. And then my sleep has just been like all over the show. It's like I'm just not sleeping properly. I'm having like a lot more headaches. I've even had like more migraines as well. And so I've seen my GP for that, and she's like had to prescribe these wafer things just to be able to settle the headaches down. And so it's just been really tough. And like having a 3-year-old on the side, it's like trying to deal with my health issues, but then look after a 3-year-old. It's just like I go to bed at like 7:30 at night because I'm just so worn out. And it's just, yeah, just not cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't want this to happen to anyone. It's like, yeah, it's really awful.
I think about words a lot. It's probably, if anyone out there is like me and they listen to words and language, drop us a comment. I hear some of the language that you're saying, Daisy. Really awful. Don't want this to happen to anyone. Struggling, that sort of language, right? And as I said, logically, it makes sense. Now, sometimes what I'm about to say can be like, "What are you talking about, man?" But this is a Daisy thinking problem. When your dad passed away, you made that mean something about you. There was some sort of a story, some sort of a internal thing clicked or turned off, or it was just like it just went off inside of you, right? And there's no physical. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's no physical button that got pressed when your dad passed away that equals sleeplessness, migraines, mobility limitations. Do you get what I mean? Like, you didn't walk into a wall and all of a sudden got a black eye or a blood nose, right? Like, that's a literal physical thing that happens. So therefore, this isn't a physical traumatic experience that we're talking about that's happened. This is a metaphysical traumatic experience.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. First dot on the page. So I know now where, there's physical things that you can do. Like, if you're not sleeping, if you've got migraines, you went to your doctor and you got those wafer things to settle the headaches down and all that sort of stuff. Like, that's a physical management of a symptom.
Yeah.
And so you're ticking those boxes, you're doing the things, you're trying to do the best you can, but here you are, you're stressed, you're sleepless, and sad.
Yeah.
But also the language that you're using, really awful. I'm not looking at you like we're choosing not to see like literally see you right now, but I hear your voice. I'm listening to the sounds of your voices, your voice. I can hear it's like a pushing. There's a straining element. Listen back in the recording and listen to your tone of voice.
Yeah.
If I didn't know your story and I heard you talking, I would start to ask myself, gee, she sounds strained.
Yeah.
And I know now that this is a Daisy issue, not necessarily a dad passing away issue.
Yeah.
Because I know this, as I said at the start, this literally has never happened to me. In my experience, my granddad passed away. He was a father figure in my life. But not everyone whose dad passes away has the effects that you had. No. Do you get it? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we like take all that into consideration. It's like, right, okay. So the way you perceive this experience happening, I call this a significant emotional event, SEE. And what you see when you have this emotional event, what you perceive, you're choosing to perceive, you're patterned, you're programmed to perceive it that way. And so I kind of want to get an idea of your map, your perception, your frame, how you see this experience. Because the way Joe Bloggs or Sally down the street see their dad passing away, they might not have struggled with that. They might not have been stressed by that. They might not have been stretched and worn thin. Even if they did have a 3-year-old, even if they did have MS, somebody else, Sally Sims, Joe Blogs, they might not have had the same effect that you have.
Yeah.
So why are you, this is my question in my mind, is like, why is Daisy having these symptoms? Why is her system as a whole struggling, awful, worn out, not working properly, struggling? So why are you taking this? This is with love, but also like a real targeted, pointed question. Why did this hit you so hard when your dad passed away? Like there's obvious things, but like just see if you can feel comfortable getting those things out. Like there's going to be some real obvious things, but what are all the reasons why this is hard for you?
Well, my dad was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and so that was like happened when I'd moved away from home, because like I grew up in Tasmania and lived down there until I was like 20 odd, and then I moved to the mainland, and so he was diagnosed with dementia after I'd moved to the mainland. And so I think because I wasn't there, I feel like I kind of wasn't able to assist him and like help him and just be there for my sisters and my mum and everybody else. And so I kind of like feel guilty in a regard because I wasn't there to help like everybody else was. And so I don't know whether that is part of what is causing me to like feel so hard, because like I just feel guilty a lot of the time for like different things like throughout the whole experience. It's like I even like the other night when I couldn't sleep, I was thinking like how awful of a daughter I was because I wasn't there to like help and assist and just do things, even though physically I couldn't because I lived in a different state. And so it's just like really hard. And like my mum has said to me, you don't need to feel guilty. It's like you couldn't help it because situations didn't allow you to be there. But I'm just like, I guess for me, it's like, even though they say you can't be guilty, I still feel guilty, even though I shouldn't, if that makes sense. I just, yeah. It's just, yeah. And so I just don't know how to let go of this guilt, even though I don't need to hold on to this guilt, because I probably was a good daughter and did everything I could when I could.
What else might there be? So you feel guilty, you moved away. Is there anything else that might be popping up? Like, how's your relationship with your dad before dementia?
Like I guess like with any relationship, you have like good days and bad days. It's like there was like 5 of us kids in the family, and so basically being the oldest of 5, I always felt like I had to be the one who did good, and like I couldn't do anything bad, even though if I did something bad, it's like was not good because I had to be an example to the others. And so I just felt like a lot of pressure in that regard, like being the oldest. And so it's just like, yeah, full on.
What would you say to yourself? Like, what's that language in your mind? You're the old. I'm the oldest. I've got to blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's something inside of you that you're saying? Like a belief. If you've got that, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got that pressure. In order for you to feel that pressure, you've got to be saying something to yourself. There's got to be this chatter, just happening over and over again. It's like, you're the oldest. You got to step up. Or whatever. You know that I just made that up. Like, what sort of things are you saying to yourself that equals pressure?
Like, I need to be good enough. I need to like be a good example. I can't make mistakes, and like I need to basically be like the golden child, even though I'm not the golden child. Yeah.
Gotcha. So there's a little piece there. So we call those limiting beliefs. They're kind of like they lock you into a way of perceiving or seeing. I need to be good enough. I can't make mistakes. I have to be the golden child. I'm not the golden child. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Because if you just say you wake up in the morning and you say, today's going to be a great day. 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 You might have some experiences that are challenging and it might perceive to be not a great day, but you're more likely to have a great day because you're telling yourself over and over again, today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a great day. Or you tell yourself, I really want to buy a red car. I really want to buy a red car. And then all of a sudden you start noticing red cars everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a part in your brain that switches on when you say you want something, or when you say something, an intention or your attention is on something and you're mindful of it, you're more likely to see or perceive that thing. So if you're saying, I need to be good enough, I can't make mistakes, I have to be the golden child, I'm not the golden child.
Yeah. I need to just be kinder to myself and not so hard on myself, and realize that it's okay to make mistakes, because others would learn from seeing that you make mistakes, that they can make mistakes, and it's okay, because if you don't make mistakes, they'll feel guilty for not making mistakes themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have we stumbled on a pattern? Is this pattern of golden child, you talking about your child, your 3-year-old, taking care of your child? You're the oldest of, did you say 5 kids?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pressure, taking care of dad, taking care of your child, taking care of your siblings, like responsibility, care. Like, is this a problem, or is this a pattern?
Probably like a pattern. I'm not caring for myself as well. I'm caring for like everybody else, but not giving myself any care. And so that's why I'm feeling so run down, because I'm looking after everybody else, but I'm forgetting about myself. And the thing is, if I don't look after me, then I'm not going to have the resources to be able to look after others, because I'll be no good. Wow, just came around in a circle. Just worked it out myself.
There you go, guys. We'll take care and we'll see you next time. Hey, have you written that down?
Have I written it down?
Yeah, like what you just said there.
No.
Have you got a pen and a paper?
I'll find a pencil.
Like, see if you can just take a moment to write this down. By the way, listeners, I'll do while Daisy's looking for her writing instrument and paper. I'll do this a lot with people. I'll get them to write down key phrases and intentions, because once it's in your mind, you can't completely deal with it. But when you get it out of your mind and you plug it into paper, I call that your outlet, and it's in that moment that you write it down. Now you can actually do something. You're not taking up RAM space in your brain, in your mind, because it's on paper. You don't have to use memory up here. Now you can use that energy that you were remembering something. the something for something else, like healing, dedicated to more empowering things, more resourceful stuff. Okay. Got your pen and paper?
Yep.
Okay. The pattern. Need to be good enough. Can't make mistakes. Have to be the golden child. But I'm not the golden child. I need to be kind to myself. I have to let people know that it's okay to make mistakes. And that's beautiful. Like, nothing's a problem till it is. Everything's okay till it's not. Maybe on the surface, being an inspiration to others is okay. But at what point is that a pattern? And how is that turning into a problem? And you said, well, I give to everybody else. I'm always giving to everybody else. I'm always looking after everybody else. And the problem is what did you say?
Don't look after myself, I won't be able to look after others.
There you go. Okay, write that down.
I've put care for myself to be able to care for others.
Yeah.
Even though the other way I said it sounded better.
No, that's cool. Awesome. Okay, so now that's deep. And if we're on a iceberg tour and we're looking at icebergs, you've just popped on your snorkel and you've had a look under the surface. But there's lots of iceberg under the water. So I reckon we can go deeper, hey?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to put a snorkel on then.
Let's leave the snorkel. Let's grab a submarine.
Oh, okay.
Or like let's get right down to the nitty gritty. Looking after your gee, that was good English. That was like 60 words in one. Looking after yourself isn't a problem until it is. So how is can we call this a fact, or how is the pattern of looking after everybody else but not yourself? How is this a problem? First problem is, well, if you look after others, you can't look after yourself. Yep. How else is this a problem that you give to everybody else? And why is it a problem that you can't take care of others? Like, what's the real problem here? Why do you care if you look after everybody?
Because I guess they should be able to, because they've all got partners, and so their partners should be able to look after them, and so they should be looking after themselves, and their partners should be looking after them, and I should be able to let go of the reins and just trust the other people that they're going to look after my loved ones just as good as what I can. Because, yeah, I need to just let go so that they can just do things, and if they make mistakes, then they can learn from their mistakes rather than me feeling responsible for making sure they don't make mistakes.
Okay. I like it. Now let's actually go up. We're not going to go problem. So let's climb to the top of the iceberg now. Let's find the point of the iceberg. What's the point of caring for others in your mind, Daisy?
Just so that they don't get hurt, and they're just I don't know the word. I've lost the word. Just so that they're happy and just, yeah, and just content.
Okay. And And why is it important for you to force them to be happy and content and to force them to not get hurt?
Because I don't like seeing them hurt, because then it hurts me, because I'm like connected to them.
Yeah.
Even though they're my siblings and all the rest of it, it's just like you just don't like seeing your siblings or your loved ones hurt because it hurts you.
Well, it doesn't hurt me. When you say
Pardon?
hurts you, you mean it hurts like you, not me. When you say you mean you, right?
Yeah, like me. It's like if they're hurting, it's like you're hurting because
Well, no, it's not you, it's you. So do you get what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
you, it's me.
Yeah. So that's what you mean. So I
Yeah.
hurt. Like, so try that.
Yeah,
Try
I
that.
hurt
Yeah, there you go.
if they're hurting.
I like
So
it.
not the listeners, it's like it's me, myself hurts. And so rather than me hurting, I just don't want them to get hurt. So then
Boom.
everybody can just be happy.
Everybody can be happy. Yeah, this is a big task, isn't it?
It is.
That sounds like hard to hold on to. That's a monumental task. You're playing savior to your siblings, your child, your dad. I bet you if we dug a little bit deeper, or we had a look around, we'd see this pattern playing out elsewhere, wouldn't we?
Yep.
Daisy the protector, Daisy the enforcer of safety, the safety officer.
Yep. Yellow vest.
Yellow.
Walk this way. Don't walk that way because that way it's going to harm you. Come this way.
Jeepers creepers. What could this possibly have in common? Like, if you think about this as a metaphor, Daisy, taking on this load, taking on this burden, taking on this responsibility, this over responsibility, this safety officer, whether people want you to or not, is like, I don't care if you want me to, I'm going to protect you.
Yeah.
Yes. I know I'm your big sister, but I am actually going to save you from anything. What could that possibly metaphorically have in common with not being able to walk, being crippled? Even though you can't, but like, you know what I mean? Like having an effect on your mobility. Metaphorically, what's the story? What do you reckon?
I think it's because I'm doing everything for everybody else that I'm not giving it. I've got the words, but they're just stuck on the end of my tongue.
Good job.
So that I'm facilitating all of them to be able to do everything and to keep them safe and to keep them protected, but I'm not protecting myself. And so basically I'm not being able to do what I want to do because I'm watching over them to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah. So it's not completely, but like this is kind of a dissociate. Do you know what the word dissociated means? Outside of yourself?
Not outside of myself.
Yeah. So it's like dissociated. When you said you, when you meant I?
Yeah.
Yeah, before, like you,
Yeah.
Daisy, and you were saying you, and I know what you mean, and it's a very common way of speaking, but that's a dissociated way of speech. It's a dissociated speech pattern.
Yeah, because you're not actually talking about me.
Well,
Because you're.
I'm.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
which is, you kind of did it again in that explanation of yourself. Hey, it's like,
Oh,
do you know what? Does that make sense?
yes, it makes sense.
And a fabulous saying that I love, I probably say this every day, is as above, so below, as without, so within, as the universe, so the soul. So if I spot something, more than likely, I'm going to find that in a person somewhere else. So another way of saying what I just said is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you're doing everything for everybody else in your family, if you're protecting others, if you're protecting your 3-year-old and putting bubble wrap around everything, and you're taking on, we call it over responsibility. It's not under responsibility. You're not tapped out and emotionally disconnected. So you've got the opposite thing going on. Over responsibility.
Yeah.
And so the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So more than likely, you probably that pattern of over responsibility showing up in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
And you've got boulders or icebergs that you're carrying around or towing. You're swimming through life or walking through life. You're towing behind you these icebergs. That sounds exhausting.
It does. No wonder I can't do anything because I'm trying all of this stuff out.
Yeah. No wonder, hey?
Yeah. Oh, I'm like tired now. It's just like I just want to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Even though I was just talking, it's like I feel like a whole ton has just been like unraveled or something. And I'm just like, oh, this is just too hard to carry anymore. Can I just put it down and go to sleep?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So to help you to do that, like that's a target, that's a goal that you want. And if you want to hit that goal, if you want to achieve that goal, then you got to aim. So AIM is an acronym. Put your attention or your awareness on something, like notice it. And then 2, I, create an intention, dictate your intention. Say you're going to do something, like just set a goal or, make you want something. And then M, mindfulness or make it happen. So A, awareness. What are you aware of now? After we've been chatting for a good half hour, 40 minutes, what are you aware of now that you weren't aware of before?
That I'm dragging a lot behind me through the water by looking after everybody else. And that I need to just let go and not be so full on.
Yeah, beautiful. I like how you said, I've got to let go, but no one's going to force you, right? So
No.
So I don't know if you have to. I reckon you could hold on for a little bit longer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've got so much practice holding on and towing icebergs that I reckon, correct me if I'm wrong, Daisy, that you can actually tough this out for, I don't know, like years.
Probably, but I don't want to.
Yeah, now we're cooking. You don't what?
Don't want to.
Don't want to. So what do you choose to do then? What's your intention?
I choose to let others look after themselves and to let go of the responsibility. Maybe except for the 3-year-old.
Yeah, I like it.
Like anybody that's able to, they can take responsibility and look after themselves. And those that are little and can't look after themselves yet need to just be cared for.
Right. So you want adults to be adults, and you want the kids to grow up to be adults.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How's that sound as an intention?
That sounds really good, because then I'm not holding on to anything anymore. And everybody else is just taking what they need to, and I'm just letting them take it. And then I'm helping the little one to facilitate, to be able to grow into their shoes, to be able to look after themselves.
That's cool. So what's your mantra, or what will you be mindful of as we hang up, we say goodbye today, and as you go about your day, life is going to happen. You're going to go out into the real world. You might get phone calls, texts, or you might see something, or you have a memory or whatever. But what's your mantra to make sure that this happens? How are you going to be mindful? What are you going to say to yourself? What's a little affirmation that you can say to yourself to help you remember?
That everyone's going to be okay, and to just stand back and just watch. And just step in if and when I need to, but otherwise just stay back and let it go with the flow.
Woo-hoo.
So then I can just sleep.
Right. Okay, cool. So and then that's the proof that the proof in the pudding is so you can sleep.
Yep.
So that's the target.
Yep.
Sleep. So therefore the symptom, so the target is to sleep.
Yep.
And you know that this needs to happen. This aim needs to happen when you're not sleeping.
Yep.
So how can you, if you like fast forward, you put yourself in the future and you're like, okay, right. What do we talk about on the podcast? We talked about sleep and over-responsibility. Like, what are you going to say to yourself? How's this going to play out in the future? Let's just say tomorrow or next week or whatever. How are you going to actually make this happen? What's it going to look like?
I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
Beautiful. Yeah, notice what you notice. Even just without speaking now, just like see that in your mind, right? Can you see that? Can you see that now?
Yep. I can see it in my mind, but I just don't know how to put it into words.
That's cool. Just do me a favor. Just keep noticing that. Just see that. You don't have to speak.
Yeah, but then I can't tell all the other people what they need to do. So if they're struggling with stuff like this.
That's all right. Well, you're not rescuing them.
Oh, true. They can just rescue themselves.
That's it. They're not little kids. So you don't have to wipe their bum. They're probably old enough to not need a mum. Oh, that rhymes. Put that on a t-shirt.
Quick, write it down. Write it down.
Someone email that to me. Tell me what I just said.
So you don't need to wipe their bum. You're not their mum.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so in your mind, You're seeing what you're seeing. You're noticing this playing out. There's going to be conversations that you're hearing. There's words that you're hearing yourself say. You're hearing other people say. Like, it just literally just happened then. It's like, it's okay. Stand back and watch. I'm not their mum. And they're old enough to wipe their own bum.
Yeah.
So let it happen. Go with the flow.
Yeah, because that's what I could picture in my mind. And I could like hear people like say, it's okay, I can do this. I don't need you to hold my hand. And I'm like, oh, that's good. It's like, okay, I can just let you go.
Can just let you go.
Because I'm not your mum.
Because I'm not your mum.
And you can wipe your own bum.
Amen.
Now you've said that, I'm going to have that in my head all the time.
Yeah. That's your red car.
Yeah. I'm not your mum. Go wipe your own bum.
And they'll look at you and they might be like, what the heck are you talking about? You're like, listen to the podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, that's what I have in my head. It's like, I'm not your mum. Wipe your own bum.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that's like thing that'll stay in my head now because it's like it rhymes.
So good. That's your mindful mantra.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not your mum. Wipe your own bum.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Anybody that's listening to this is going to be like, oh, that person's insane.
I bet you they won't. I bet you we'll get a whole flurry of texts and messages being like, I resonated so much with Daisy. Gosh darn it. I use that same saying, that same mantra. Oh, I'm aiming for the same thing.
Yeah, go for it. It's like the best way. It's like, I'm not your mum. Wipe your own bum.
That's it. That is it. Well, how do you feel? How's that sound? Plan of approach. Sound good?
It does sound good. And I think I could even use it on the 3-year-old with the toilet trainer. It's like, I'm not your mum. Wipe your own bum.
You should be like, you're not my mum.
No, I am your mum, but you need to wipe your own bum.
I love it. They'll be like, Mom?
He already does that anyway. He's like, are you still my mum? Like, yes, I'm still your mum. I'll always be your mum.
That's awesome. That's so good. All right. Well, then, this saying will work well in some instances, and then in other instances, maybe it won't work in the future. But for now, it's like, we'll run with it.
Anyone that's old enough to wipe their own bum, it'll work for.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
No worries, Daisy. Thanks so much for coming on. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sharing openly and being humble and vulnerable. It's awesome.
That's okay. Sorry about the long pauses when I couldn't think of what to say because I was just going through my head to try and find the words.
Great. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okie dokes. Well, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you so much for coming on, and for everybody who's listening, let us know how you enjoyed this one, and we will catch you later. Have the best day ever.
Yes, I'll go and have a sleep now.
Sounds good. Alrighty.
All right.
I'll hang up. Take care, and chat to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.